Yeah, no, bouncing back from a tough loss on Saturday, you really don't have a choice. You have a short week to prepare for Mississippi State. Huge rivalry game will be a huge game for these seniors. Their last home game, last game in Vaught Hemingway, and our last game together. So will be a huge night and a big challenge on a short week against a very, very good football team. Injury updates. Probably Sean Rawlings is going to be day to day. He has an ankle sprain. He won't practice this week, but we'll give it a go in the game. So he'll be a game time decision. And I would say that Scotty and Braylon are probable. They'll be limited. Some Lodge, same thing. Lodge they'll all have a chance to play in the game. Probably Sean is the furthest away. Just because of it's a pretty bad ankle sprain, but knowing Sean, he'll be out there and have an opportunity to play.
All right, take questions. Raise your hand. We'll bring the microphone to you. Start with Pierce.
What was DeMarcus's injury?
Ankle sprain.
Okay.
He got going out of bounds. He got tackled and hurt his ankle.
Yeah. What can you tell us about communication with the SEC regarding that play and what y'all have learned?
The biggest thing is, we feel like I felt like he scored. They didn't, but again, it's a short week and we got to move on. You got to put that behind you. You can't, because it's not going to change anything. We got to move forward to Mississippi State. But again, we just had a difference in opinion. We felt like he scored. They stuck by their rule, but again, we have to move forward to Mississippi State.
With the red zone struggles, Matt, to score touchdowns and the big plays you guys hit against them last year, does it change how you attack them this year?
Well, it's a different defense, so it's not the same as last year. But again, we got a lot of confidence in our offense and moving the football. But when you get in the red zone, you got to make plays. It's no different. Just watching the tape. A few drops here and there. We have opportunities to make plays, and they're there to be made. The good news is you're getting down there. You're getting down there a bunch with opportunities to score. And in this game, we got to go finish the fourth quarter. And there's no better time to do that than the Egg Bowl.
With all that this senior class has been through in the last 4 years, just what stands out about these guys heading into their last game?
Just, again, for me, all the stuff that we've been through together, it's just a really, really special class. Every one of these seniors had opportunities to not be here, to go somewhere, to transfer, do all this other, but they chose to stay here and do this together, knowing they weren't going to a bowl game. And just very impressive with their fight. And that they fight for each other, they fight for Ole Miss, and everything that they've given, and how hard they play, fighting through injuries, doing all the things they've done to keep this thing going. And just grateful for these guys and what they mean to not only me personally, but also this program.
Talk a little bit more about Mississippi State on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, so again, a very, very veteran defense. Their stats speak for themselves. They're very, very good up front. They have length at corner, and they have experienced safety, so very, very hard to run against. Their length at corner has helped them out, and obviously with their ability to rush the passer, you don't have long to throw it. So, but we'll have a challenge. It'll be hard to drive the ball against. We're going to have to find a way to make some big plays. Again, we got to run the ball well enough to create some one-on-one matchups, and then take advantage of those one-on-one matchups. And then as far as offensively, they do a really, really good job of running the football. We're going to have to find a way to make them throw it to beat us, and that will be our game plan.
Matt, specifically their defensive front, are they comparable to anybody that you've played this year? And if you just talk a little bit more about what they're able to do against the run.
Yeah, no, I mean they're a SEC defensive line. They're a veteran defensive line. They got a bunch of older guys that have been in there and played. They're very good at getting off blocks. They do a good job of bringing pressure, a lot of five-man pressure, and constantly putting pressure on you. So we have to do a really, really good job of handling the pressure, and then applying some pressure of our own. So if they're going to bring pressure, we're going to have to pressure them on the outside where they have to cover.
Going off that, how did you grade out Jordan Sims this week playing for Sean, and what's the challenge of having a new center against a front like this?
You know what? We're fortunate to have a guy like Jordan that can come in there and play any number of positions, but he did fine. You know, to have a veteran and a senior that's been into the games and done it, he's won a bunch of big games before and played in a bunch of big games. So it's not like you have somebody coming off the bench that haven't done it. He's very, very experienced and can handle it. Like I said, I think Sean will be ready to go, but Jordan will definitely have to play some.
We'll take questions up top.
Coach, obviously this rivalry each year is huge coming down between these two schools, but what does it mean to you for something like this? You've been a part of this rivalry now, but how big is it for this Sim State, for the rivalry in Mississippi?
It's huge for the people of Mississippi. It always has been. It's a game that means so much to so many people, and again, this year is no different. It's just it's a 365-day bragging rights, and it's always been important in my family ever since I can remember. Again, this is not my second Egg Bowl, it's my 42nd, but again, it's always something that means a lot, and it's very, very important for this senior class to go out on a winning note in this game. I think is very, very important.
That said, you've been around the Egg Bowl so much. Does this one, though, seem to lack a little buzz compared to maybe years past?
Not to me, and not to these seniors, and to the guys that have, they've given a lot, and I just think, obviously with it being the Egg Bowl, that's huge, but there being their last game and senior night, it just kind of adds another level to it.
How did preparation kind of change this week, short week?
Yeah, it's tough. You come back. We got home at 4 in the morning, so the guys got to recover. So we just spent a little bit. The good thing is they're out of class. We spent a little bit more time in the film room and having them a chance to recover. But you can't. You're not going to be doing much against each other. A lot of it's recovery and film work and walkthroughs.
Matt, do you sense more bitterness, hard feelings within this rivalry because of the NCAA investigation?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just. This is a special rivalry. And what makes it special is the passion of both fan bases. We don't have a pro team in Mississippi. It's people have a lot of pride in their schools, and that's what makes it special. Ole Miss people, they love Ole Miss. They want to win, and that's the unique part of this rivalry. And Mississippi is a great football state. I mean, per capita, always one of the best football states, in America. And it's something that's really, really special to a lot of people. But I think it speaks to the passion of both fan bases.
Coach, from your perspective, it seems like both you and Coach Moorhead have kind of toned down the rhetoric a little bit as far as the hate or the vitriol or whatever you want to call it, now that Mullen's gone and all that. You think it's healthier that way? Or am I not seeing what I think I'm seeing?
It doesn't take away from the importance, but you can still handle things the right way and still be an important game. You can do things the right way and it still mean a lot to you. And obviously everybody knows what this game means to me, but you can still handle it the right way.
Coach, one player that had a really good game was Isaiah Wheeler, stepping in for Scotty Phillips. Surprising at all, a player that wanted to be a Rebel, and now he's having that opportunity.
I think he's a great example of a young man from Mississippi that it means a lot to him, and that's what you want your team filled with young men like Isaiah. He's a hard worker, tough, hard-nosed, blue-collar guy. He doesn't say anything. He just shows up and goes to work, and really proud of him and the opportunity he had and him taking advantage of the opportunity.
Senior day, but you've got a number of talented juniors. Many would expect this to also be their last game. Any plans to celebrate them, or any conversations you've had with them about their future?
No, we'll talk about that after the game. Just want all those guys to to play really, really well and focus on that game. We'll cross that after.
One question, Coach.
Yep.
Nick Fitzgerald, you see him now. Just your thoughts on him and just the kind of athlete that he is.
Yeah, no, he's a leading rusher in SEC history for a quarterback. So, mean, it kind of speaks for itself. We're going to have to do a great job of taking him out of his comfort zone and making him earn every yard, not giving him easy yards, but making him earn every yard that he gets, and try to make it uncomfortable for him, and make him try to throw it over the top to beat us. Not easy throws, but throws he has to work to complete. But again, I think we got to do a great job of stopping the run and making them throw it to beat us.
I know it's something that's been talked about all season, but now that you're heading into the last game with the red shirt rule in place, are there going to be guys that you specifically try to get out there because they have a free game, or is it still going to be kind of subjective?
Well, the first priority will be to win the game, but with Matt having a game left over, it's obviously a little bit easier to play him in this game. And I think he's probably the biggest one that will be everybody would be talking about. But but if Jordan goes down, Matt can come in without having to worry about wasting a year. So, but the priority is on winning the game, not on playing somebody in their fourth game.